Common workout mistakes. We could just have stopped there. But in hot weather. So let's have a conversation on that. Common workout mistakes in hot weather. Now, of course, we know that staying active is vital for our health. Working out in the heat has its unique challenges. So if you're not careful, you can put yourselves at a risk of dehydration. Remember we spoke about dehydration last week? I didn't know dehydration was such a big problem.
Well, we heard last week, didn't we?
A thorough one. So risk of dehydration, heat exhaustion, and even more serious complications. So this discussion will highlight some of the frequent errors we all make when exercising in hot weather and provide practical tips to stay safe and maximize performance. Especially if you're an avid runner, a gym goer, or just someone sitting next to me here who enjoys indoor activities. These insights will help you. Please welcome Joel Zamere.
Tennis is not an indoor activity. Thank you very much.
Well, someone just told me that she didn't leave home. She didn't even see the front of her door some days or weeks away. So, but we'll talk about that some other time.
It's looking more and more like I must not tell this man anything. He shares it with the whole world.
No. It's just the person that is watching.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us this morning. Director of IRF, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
We make common mistakes in general.
Yes.
When in workouts, during workouts. What are some of them? We'll talk about the peculiar hot weather shortly.
Yeah.
But the common mistakes, what are some of the common workout mistakes we make as a people generally?
Thank you for having me. The first will be either undertraining or overtraining. And I think you've heard me say that quite often, right? Undertraining or overtraining, wrong technique, which of course will lead to injury.
We're coming back to that first one, but carry on with your list. Carry on.
Of course, doing the wrong program entirely, right, will be also a common mistake. Another mistake will be looking at someone else to determine the intensity or type of workout that you should do. Some of the errors will be that, this is not enough. You think the 20 minutes you've done is either too small or not sufficient. So the list goes on and on, but I know that this is timed. We don't have eternity, so I'll stop there. But those are like the common ones that people can easily relate with.
Okay.
Bordering on.
What is undertraining? I mean, I take a 30-minute walk in the morning.
Yeah.
How will I determine whether it is too little or too much?
Well, that's great. You just said you take a 30-minute walk in the morning. You've told me something about duration.
Yeah.
You've told me something about the type of exercise.
Yes.
And since I can see you, I then know that that is adequate, right?
But you haven't considered the intensity. You also talk about.
No, she said walk.
Brisk
because
walk.
She said walk, so she's
You
either.
see, now she have qualified
the
it
walk.
for you.
Wait, remember that I've been. This is my own business, right?
Oh, sorry.
Don't forget. This is what I live and breathe, right? So the reason why I paused was because, first of all, I know her. She has a history of being a sports person. So I can, if she tells me I do 30 minutes every morning, I have an idea. Of course, I want to investigate more if I was doing a proper assessment. But 30 minutes, anyone, let me put it this way, who does 30 minutes every day of walking, not strolling, right? They wake up in the morning, they wear the right shoes, and they go out and they walk.
I wish I could just stand up now
And be walking.
walk around. And you
It's
show
the
me
same.
whether it's whether it's
No.
walk
Let me help.
or stroll.
Let me help. So
I don't know using both not
but
using legs.
let me ask you a question. When you are gisting with someone and you are just talking about stuff and you are going somewhere, maybe you are going to cafeteria or you are going somewhere, you know that you are strolling.
We are walking.
Okay, yes, you are walking. Now, we are saying that in walking, there are different things you can do. You can, walking is you can say, there's almost a way you can say brisk walking, running, walking slowly, are all the same thing. Jogging are all the same. So what we're simply trying to do is just to express the intensity.
Somebody who
now
a lion is chasing.
Yes.
Is that person running or jogging?
Come on, how can you call that jogging? That's running. Jogging is like light running, right? It's like
Okay.
you're just light running, right? And you remember I've told you, yeah, I recommend walking more than jogging, right? Depending on your body type. So there are people who are jogging right now that they are causing a lot of pain, a lot of havoc to their lower back and
So
their knees.
how about these guys?
So these ones are jogging, as you can see. A run will be that, just put a dog behind them, for instance. You will understand what a run is, right? So what they are doing is jogging. Look at them, look at it. Meaning that some people can even walk pretty fast and walk faster than them. So jogging is what you do for a marathon. You are just going at a slow pace and using oxygen as a form of energy, right? So that is jogging in that sense. So what I was saying, because you asked me the question, she asked me the question. I remember I've always said that exercise is prescriptive, right? So because she has asked me that question, she said, this is what I do every day. I might then say, why don't you increase the number of times you do it? Or I can say, why don't you work towards putting 1 minute or 2 minutes every week, right? Now that's me now trying to
Increase the intensity.
do something to exercise that's very important, which is progressive overload. Okay? And that's really the language that the body understands when it comes to exercise. If you only walk 30 minutes every day for the next 6 months, there comes a time between that time, roughly between 2 months, where your body will not have the same effect as it used to have. Do you understand? So when you begin to put a bit more time to that, you are doing what we call progressive overload. Or you increase your intensity by calculating the amount of steps you did for that 30 minutes. You understand? So yes,
6,000 steps.
good. Now that would be, so you can do something like saying every week I want to add 1,000 steps, or I want to add 500 steps, or even 200 steps. What you will find out over time is that you are doing very well with your exercise. You will have grown really well, and you will see that you are pretty healthy, that you are not what you were every month that you exercised. But the mistake will be that you will stay with 30 minutes and make it as, the rule of life. Your body, there's something called adaptability. Your body will get used to that and won't give you the kind of result that you had when you started the program.
Okay.
Some people complain, when I started, I had lost 4 kg, but in that time, I've not lost any other thing. Progressive overload. They are still staying with what they used to do before.
Okay, this will lead me to the next question of the subject matter for the day.
Great.
When someone loses their breath in the process of working out, what's the implication and why?
That's a fantastic question. When someone works out and they lose their breath, it's not a bad thing, actually. It's not a bad thing.
It's not dangerous either?
No. So it depends on how they came about losing the breath, which is what I want to explain. So in exercise, there's something called EPOG, excess post-oxygen exertion. Sorry.
I thought you said airplug.
Nice one. Excess post-oxygen consumption. Consumption. So that simply means that anytime you exercise, you deplete the oxygen in your blood, right? And what happens is that your body now takes time to replenish that oxygen that you've lost. Do you understand? So when you exercise, especially when you do cardiovascular training, where you require oxygen to perform that exercise, you will definitely have a low amount of oxygen when you're done.
Because you used up the one you have.
Yes, because that's why you see that you now begin to pant. When you start exercising, you see that you're okay, your mouth is closed, you're panting with you're breathing with your nose. Later on, you have to open your mouth because the oxygen intake and carbon out is low. So you start to do that. It comes to a point where you will have to stop.
Because you're already...
And catch your breath.
Not because you're dizzy, but because you need to catch your breath. Now, let me not go into energy systems, but the way the body is it's designed in such a way that when it needs extra oxygen, it will naturally tell you to stop or to reduce the intensity. So that's why when people are working and they're getting really tired, you see them stop and you see them begin to really take deep breaths. And if you give them a few minutes, they are good to go again.
But you are also now identifying something for someone. I don't know why I asked that question.
Yeah.
Some people feel they are not up to par with other people that they're exercising with because they quote unquote lose their breath or they need to catch their breath a little more frequently than others. So help me advise this fellow.
Okay.
That you're okay.
Yes, yes, you're okay. So the thing with the body is, over time, your body gets stronger. If, for instance, at 30 minutes, you are out of breath, as you continue to exercise, it will become 32 minutes, 35 minutes. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So the thing with you not having the same capacity as other people is that everyone is different. And we call it your heart rate, right? So everybody is supposed to, let's say for instance, 3 of us are supposed to train at a particular training zone, right? So there's something called training zone in cardiovascular training anyway. And maybe what we want to do is just to keep fit. So we'll be using about 60% of our maximum heart rate. I think I've calculated that for us here one time, right? That means that based on our age, we all have a maximum exertion rate in our body that we, being health conscious and being safe, we shouldn't exceed. Does that make sense? Now, when you are training, you are supposed to train at a percentage of that maximum heart rate. Now, everybody's maximum heart rate is not the same. So when I get fagged out or when I get tired, it's not when necessarily you get tired.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense? So essentially, what you're supposed to have is that when you have someone who is properly trained, he has a IREP certification, the person knows what he's doing, the person will be able to tell you that this is your maximum heart rate and this is the heart rate you should get to.
Okay.
Now, because you have that information, you won't feel bad that you're getting tired at a particular stage when the other person is not getting tired. I don't know if that makes any sense. Second, and lastly, it's the rest in between sessions also that helps. A good trainer will know that rest is part of the workout. And so for every training they do, in between those sets, they will create rest periods so that your body can take back oxygen, reduce temperature, bring back energy, and then continue again.
Reduce temperature.
Yes.
Wait, leading me to the question. I told you it will lead me there.
Yeah.
So the body can overheat.
Most definitely. Heat stroke and all those fun stuff you guys have talked about. Of course.
Fun. Fun.
Yeah, well, not fun.
Oh, thank you very much.
So what are some of the signs that people need to pay attention to when the body is overheating?
Fantastic.
I know that cars overheat.
Yeah.
Once the radiator pops,
You
nobody
know,
needs to
right?
tell you.
But you know, there's also something in the car that tells you that, hey, the temperature is going up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
That's
called
the temperature,
Temperature gauge.
Yeah, gauge. Most of us have that naturally, but we don't listen.
gauge.
Oh, okay. So how do we notice?
Yes.
How do we realize?
So, I mean, I'm not a doctor, but from what I've read, there are sometimes, one of those very frequent one is headaches. So it's not all the time you have headache that, a particular drug is the solution. It might be that you've not taken water. Everybody there's a recommended amount of quantity of water that you should take. But you and I know that people only drink water when they are thirsty. So don't let me come for that thing you're drinking, which might not be water.
It is water. Thank you very much.
Really? Oh, wow, nice. Good to know. But it tastes, the way you're drinking is like it's coffee though. It's still water, Abi.
Wait till I make I talk.
Anyway, so there's this recommended, there is the recommended number of water that both male and female should take a day. But what we do is that we don't think about that. We just drink water when we are thirsty or take a cup of water when we want to eat. And then when we are thirsty, we go for soft drinks. And somebody has told us through good advertising that is refreshing. And that will, give you another, a different energy. Anyway.
It is refreshing for the moment. So
yes, refreshing.
Don't spoil market.
Meanwhile,
well, refreshing, right, for the moment, which makes you more dehydrated. But let's continue. So
we should drink water when we're thirsty.
yes, drink water when you're thirsty, essentially.
Okay.
So really, headaches are there. Dizziness, right, is really one that is major. You just begin to feel faint and dizzy.
Is it headaches and dizziness when you are exercising?
No.
Or
So this is just generally. Now, when you're exercising and that happens, it's the same symptoms, really.
Okay.
It's not like maybe the symptoms will change. That the point we're saying is that when you exercise also, it can bring about heat stroke if the environment, is pretty hot, because exercise increases body temperature, right? So because exercise increases body temperature, it will lead back to the problem of maybe heat stroke or your body overeating, as you had said, right? So those symptoms of headaches, um, uh, dizziness, right? Disorientation actually is also another one where you are disoriented. You're supposed to go left, maybe you're doing a workout and then you're going right, right? Those are some of the signs that you will easily see in an exercise environment, right? And you'll also see outside of an exercise environment, right? So those are, some of the signs. Those are the gauges that you see when you have this heat stroke, as it were.
Important to exercise,
Yes.
to work out.
Yeah.
Now, I expect you would know that it's natural for people to be wary of heat
Yeah.
when they have to work out because they know that there is the risk of your body overheating
Yeah.
and heat stroke and all the issues that you have raised. So, how do we balance it? Just to also, so by the way, so you are saying that feeling my body temperature is not. What?
That's pretty funny.
I'm asking a question.
Yeah, well.
Alero, come on. I just asked you when you
Do you
say
know-
your body
do-
is overheating. It's
Do
not.
you know when your body gets to 40 degrees centigrade? Do you know? With that your tool, that fantastic this tool. It would be impossible. This would just
No, there is no meter on my hand now.
yeah,
how-
so it's not possible. So and the science says at 40 degrees, heat stroke will
Oh,
start.
wow.
Yeah. So that's difficult. That's why what we discussed about the signs are better.
Okay.
You feel dizzy. Just you know
Feel a
what?
headache,
Prevention is better than cure.
Okay.
Before you leave your house, check your radiator that is not leaking and put water. So before you, while you're going to the gym, take enough water with you, right?
So more water
Yes.
will help.
Yes, more
But-
water will
so
help.
how about just a quick one because we have just about a minute.
Good.
The balance of working out and managing this excessive heat.
Yeah, so the thing about exercise is that it's a constant. We still eat during the heat. We still do everything we do during the heat. So it's how to manage that. So this is what I'll say. For your warm-up phase in your workout, because it's already hot, at this season, your warm-up phase will be shorter. So if you used to spend about 5 minutes to get your body warmed up, it will reduce to about 3 minutes, right? Secondly is what you wear in the gym. You want to ensure that you have things that, that hair can go through, and you want to ensure that you are in an environment that maybe has some breeze. So you want to check where you are, how many windows are there, is the air conditioning on, or you take that workout outside, right? And then while you're doing your workout, you are watching for not over exercising, as it were. And then your cool down period also, you have to totally ensure that you gradually take your cool down period down. The reason is because in this kind of time, your heart will be racing. And if you abruptly stop your exercise, in this kind of condition, it can have a very bad effect on your liver, your muscles, your brain, your body. So you want to ensure that you take it, step by step down, especially when you take your exercise up in intensity. Bring it down gradually. You want to ensure that you're drinking water. So for men, take at least between 3 to 4 liters of water. And then for women, between 2 to 3 liters of water. So you want to ensure that you consume all that. So in the gym, ensure that you're constantly drinking water and you'll be very fine.
So this is a warning really for everyone who's been all about, concerning this heat and everything. Let's help ourselves because at the end of the day, all we have is all we have. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you for
And
having
that for
me.
those common mistakes, we'll probably come back to them some other time.
No problem.
Joel Zamere is Director IREP. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you.